Hey, what's up, everybody? Matt Johnson here. We're back with another episode of Real Estate Uncensored, and we are broadcasting from our homes today. As always, this is the place where you get actionable ideas, insight, and inspiration to turn your real estate career into a life of freedom so that you, too, can hang out at home on a Monday afternoon as me and Greg are doing. As always, I am joined in the co-pilot seat by the junior grandmaster himself, Greg McDaniel. Greg, what's up today?
Matt, what's up, buddy? As you can tell, I am sporting my my love for the San Diego. Oh no, wait. Oh no, this is San Francisco.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because we're better. Giants.
No, that's true.
Baseball team. Yeah, we actually really are. But as you guys can tell, I feel like dog shit warmed up in a microwave with aluminum on top with sparks going off. So if I'm a little bit weird, it's not me. It was the dog crap I ate yesterday at some pizza joint I went after playing old man softball, where I was a VIP. I hit every ball coming at me at a minimum of 3 miles an hour, knocked it right out of the park.
Okay.
And holy sheep shit, man. I am so sore. From head to toe, I'm sore. But I also ate something bad at the pizza place. I got mild case of food poisoning, a.k.a. sitting at home, where you guys get to see all this lovely. Matt has been, ridiculing me off air for. Well, he has gone short hair. I've gone long hair, so we decided to hide it with the lovely, beautiful Giants baseball hats. So, Matt, how was your weekend, buddy? Tell me about you. What's going on with you? Enough about me.
Busy.
Busy. What were you doing, Matt?
Hanging out and working, as always, planning out my week, getting some things done, writing up show notes. I don't do anything other than work for Real Estate Uncensored and our beloved viewers and listeners.
But of course you wouldn't, Matt, because there wouldn't be ever that thing called, a life or anything like that.
I don't have one of those.
Well, I do. That's why I'm sore. That's why I play baseball or softball, slow-paced softball. I'm not kidding you, dude. That shit really is fucking. I'm sore.
I believe you. Did you actually have to run some bases, or once you hit like your 10th home run, did they just say, just turn around in the batter's box and call it good?
No, just do a full circle, and that's called running the bases because they don't want you to pull a muscle or something. Okay. Otherwise, they give you a wheelchair or a walking assistant to get around all the rest of them.
Gotcha.
Which I actually could use. This is going to be very interesting. Guys, I want to actually have you guys meet somebody. This is Senora Fat Fat. This is one of my Kit Kats. This is whoop, and she's gone. And there was someone knocking on wood down there. That was yeah. Sudi is not happy now.
Okay.
We'll show Ben later. Huh? What'd you say?
So I can't imagine why they would be unhappy with being lifted up and thrown over your shoulder.
Dude, they're pliable cats. They're fine.
They always land on their feet, unfortunately.
They're like Gumby, man. They're fine.
So before we get too far off track, I just want to say a couple things. Number one, if you're joining us live, first of all, thank you. We are live every Monday and Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific, and then every Friday morning at 11 a.m. Pacific. And then if you are watching the replay here on YouTube, make sure to hit subscribe. That way you get our future videos and other real estate coaching content from great people like Brian Casella that we had on the show last week. And then if you like the audio version, which is a killer episode, by the way, if you want to learn all about door knocking, go back and watch that episode. It was insanely good. And then Matt, if you like
because we were on it. I mean, come on.
Well, I think that goes without saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, sure. Yeah. All right. So then if you want the audio version nestled between your ears, head on over to iTunes or Stitcher and subscribe there. There are also other fantastic players for podcasting where you can actually speed up the voices one and a half to 2 times and actually get through an entire podcast in a quarter or half the time. So those are some great applications out there to do that. Some of them are paid like $1.99 or $3.99 or whatever, but there are some great options for listening to the audio version of our podcast and listening to more goodness in less time.
Oh,
I know, right?
More of us in a shorter amount of time. How much better can that be? I mean, that's like
I don't know.
That's like having 3 wishes and already getting 2.
That's right. Sure. Okay. All right. So before we get into the content for today, which is all about lead follow-up, and we're taking a bunch of questions from the Facebook group, the Lead Gen Scripts and Objections group. So head on over to that group. It's facebook.com/groups/gotobjections, and you can hang out and join the group there. Both Greg and I are members there. And it's a really, really fantastic group. So we're going to be taking some questions, and we're also just talking about lead follow-up in general. We're going to share a couple of Greg's favorite scripts for lead follow-up, both buyer and seller. Both of those are in the new scripts PDF that we're put out. You can find that on our site at McDanielRealEstateSystems.com. You can just head on over to the scripts link, and you can find that there. It's a free download. It's got a bunch of scripts in it. We'll explain that, but we'll go over a few of those. So before we get into that, I wanted to pull just a simple question, and this one caught my eye because it's about how to follow up with someone on Facebook, which, Greg, you're good about, and you might be able to answer this question right off the bat. I think I know what this person is getting at, but I want to see if you understand the question like I do. So David Harris asks, says, I can't seem to find the post that discusses how to text prospects by using their Facebook and email. Can anyone explain how to do this? So as I understand it, as I understand the question, he is asking, how do you use Facebook and their email to shoot them a text? I would assume that means finding them on Facebook by using their email and then texting them using Facebook Messenger. Is that the way you interpret that, Greg?
I just think he's kind of a creeper. I gotta tell you.
This coming from the guy that shares tools for social stalking.
What? Well, it's only healthy if you're going to go on a date and you know who you're going on a date with, Matthew.
Sure.
Right. Sure, right. No, actually, I don't really understand what the heck he's talking about, but basically what I would get out of that is, I mean, if you want to find someone's information, use Facebook as your resource. I mean, put a email or phone number or a name into the search category there, and most likely, since everybody wants to put everything about themselves into Facebook, you'll be able to find them there. Then you can reach out to them and not be a total creeper, because at least they'll be able to see who you are. Otherwise,
yeah. In terms of texting someone using Facebook, so if you go to Facebook, you take their email, put it into the search bar. If that's the email that they use to sign up with their Facebook account, Facebook will match that up, and it will show you their profile at the very top of the search results. Then you friend request them, and you send them a message along with the friend request. So and if they have Facebook Messenger, that's just like sending them a text. It'll go straight to their mobile phone.
Yeah, I found a lot of my first and last dates doing that, Matt. It's very effective.
I'm totally not going to touch that one. Wow. All right, so let's get into this one. This is another question that caught my eye. So Mark Stanko asks, objection. So how do you handle this? So how many houses do you have listed right now in my area? How many homes in my area have you sold in the last 12 months? And this is a really high price point for my market, and homes in the area often take 2 years to sell. Do you have anything good for those two objections? So in other words, he's saying that he has no houses listed in their area, and he hasn't sold any homes in their area in the last 12 months. He explained this in the parentheses. So how do you overcome that? I mean, this would be either a new agent or someone that's kind of hitting the market again after being away for a while, and you've got really nothing to show the seller. This is potentially your first client. What can you really fall back on to explain to them that you have the credibility to get this done?
Okay, let's break it down in 3 different parts, Matt. Hit me with the first question, then we'll go to the second, then we'll go to the third. Because there's actually 3 different actual distinct different questions within that one.
Yeah, there's 2. So he was just explaining it's a high price point for his market, and the homes often take 2 years to sell. So that wasn't a question. So the first question is, how many houses do you have listed right now in my area?
Okay, so when it comes to asking how many homes you have listed in the area, if you guys are starting out and you actually don't have anything, or you're just beginning, or you're just switching from buyers to listings, go back to your broker, revert back to your broker, tout their stats. Also, tout the ability of your past buyer sides, to the fact that you have the knowledge of the quote-unquote buyer in the marketplace. You know exactly what they're looking for. Now, the seller actually doesn't give a shit about how many homes you've actually sold. They just really care about their bottom line, how fast they're going to get their house sold, for how much they're going to get their house sold. So if you can show them that you have knowledge and insight and the ability to bring them that one or individual or family that's going to be able to buy their home sooner than later with a higher price point, that's all they're really going to give a shit about. Oh my God, I have a giant woodpecker outside my fucking window. Oh. Contractors think they can do work in the middle of the day and shit.
Okay.
How rude.
All right, so then the second question is, how many homes in my area have you sold in the last 12 months?
Again, go back to your broker if you have nothing to really base anything about you on. But if you have any type of stats, just tout them. I had a guy who's a young guy in my office. He sold 4 4 or 5 homes last year. Matt, we had him on our show. We're not going to say his name right now. And he consistently, guys, he sold his homes for like 100 to 110% of the listing price.
Right.
And I said, so-and-so, who I'm not going to reveal because he'd kill me. Why don't you just say, that you just sold your home for X amount of dollars over the listing price? He said, well, because I've only sold 3 of them. I'm like, who gives a shit? Nobody cares. They don't care if you sold 1 house in your entire life, but if you have the innate ability to sell it for above listing price, does the seller actually care? No. Guys, show them success. That's truly all they want is success. They don't care about how many different letters or how many different degrees you have, or letters behind your name, and essentially like are different designations. But just show them that you have the moxie or the balls to actually get do what it takes to get the home sold, and you have the ability to do it, and that you're not willing to back down because they have one objection. Because what are you going to do when it comes to another objection? When it comes to negotiating for them, you got to stand your ground, be strong, show your strengths, don't show them your weaknesses. Find someone else to do your weaknesses and call it a damn day. End of story.
All right. My contribution on that, I'm not a huge fan of touting your broker stats because to me it feels like a cop-out. You have to really, you have to be, I don't know. My personal opinion on it is that unless you are working for a small boutique brokerage where it's more like a team, I think people, if you just revert back to, well, our office has X, Y, and Z listings, it's basically just admitting that you don't have any. So I'm not a huge fan of that. You really have to phrase it carefully.
So how would you phrase it? So
well, my recommendation would be a couple things. Number one is either. All right, so number one is to not get yourself in that situation in the first place by joining a team. Number one, that does have the listings, and that way you can say, well, our team has X number of listings. We work as a team, and we have kind of like a real estate assembly line. This is my part in it. We all list the homes. They're all listed under our team, and that way you can focus on that. Okay, so that's number one, is to short circuit that by joining a team, and that way you have something else to fall back on, and you have a mentor that you can rely on and say, look, this is the leader of our team. I'm a member of this person's team. They have listed X, Y, and Z number, and they've sold this much, and their listing price is this. That way you have some stats to fall back on, and it's not your broker, it's not your office, it's not the person that's, it's not 500 agents that are doing this, it's your team, right? So that would be number one. Number two would be, if I was in a situation where I was literally a brand new agent and I wanted to go out and list homes and I wasn't a part of anybody else's team and I had no stats to fall back on, which I've been in that situation before, and what I did was I short-circuited and I didn't get that question by the way that I presented myself. So I had a pre-listing packet. I had the 90-day listing guarantee, the easy exit listing agreement. Everything that I did was very inspired by what the top agents were doing. And so I didn't get that question anywhere near as much because I didn't come across like someone that was new. I didn't send any signals that I was new. So they had no reason to ask that.
Yeah, but so what if you were, though?
That's the other part. So number three, if I was in a situation where I was asked that and I didn't have a team to fall back on, number one, I would be honest and say I don't have any because I've been working with buyers, and here's where I'm bringing them in from, and here's where they're coming into, and that's why I'm looking at listing your home. I know exactly what buyers want, and here's what I'm going to do as a new agent. Here's what I'm going to do that the top agent who just has an assistant and wants to list the home and never call you again until he gets a contract. Here's what they're not going to do that I'm going to do. I'm going to hold an open house every single week. Every single weekend I'm going to call and door knock 200 to 300 doors around your property to invite them. I'm going to be sending 400 to 500 postcards. I would lay out exactly what my marketing plan is and focus on the things that require work and actual hours put in and actual shoe leather, and then I would kind of present myself as different from, okay, here's what, if you want to list with the person that sold 5 homes in your neighborhood in the last year, they're going to sit back and they're going to list the home and just count on someone bringing them a buyer. I am not. I'm going to go out and I'm going to actively find them, and I'm going to focus on working your neighbors to figure out who they know that needs to buy your home. And I'm actually going to put in the hours and the work, the door knocking, the calls, and the mailers that the top agent isn't going to, because they've got 15 other listings to service. They've got 15 other clients that they're dealing with. They don't have the time that I have to put into your listing. That's how I would go about it.
Well, good for you.
So we, as usual, have completely different opinions.
I was totally
on how we do that.
I'm like, Are you done yet? No, Matt, you really had some good points there, man. I always bust your balls because it's fun. But you know, it's always enjoyable to kind of see how we differ when it comes to these to our points of view. I would encourage people to leverage their assets. If you have nothing else to fall back on, guys, despite what Johnson thinks over there, you know, you can go ahead and
Such a dick. Despite what Johnson thinks.
You know what? Leverage your freaking brokerage. I mean, use what you have. That's why you joined them, right? You joined them because they were, in your mind, the best that you could find. So leverage that. But if you don't, you know, Matt has a phenomenal point. Also go after a team. But if you know, go 6 months, go 12 months without a team first. See if you can make it on your own or build your own team. You don't need to build off someone else's branding. Remember, you got in this business so you don't have to work for somebody else. You don't have anyone else's brand. You don't have anything else. You have yourself. You can make your own way in the world. So, I mean, it depends on the personality type too, Matt. You know, Adina and I, like you and I'm not working for anyone else. I don't give a shit. No. I would rather break someone's head off than work for them. But, you know, oh God, that reminds me of going to jury duty, dude.
Potentially joining a real estate team reminds you of jury duty.
It does, man.
Okay.
Because I went to jury duty 2 or 3 years ago. Thank God. Knock on wood, don't have to do it again. But they're like, all right, everybody, if you walk out of this room, if you don't turn left and you turn right, we'll arrest you. If you talk to the judge, we'll arrest you. If you talk to an inmate, we'll arrest you. If you do this, we'll arrest you. I'm like, well, fuck you. And this is like a corporation, but with jails. And I couldn't do a damn thing in there. And that's what made my blood boil, my skin itch when it came to just like having to work for the man, you know. I don't want to work for the man.
And joining a real estate team reminds you of that. Okay.
Of inmates, judges, jury duty, and the man. Yes.
Gotcha.
Maybe there's too much caffeine in my system, not enough food, too much food poisoning. I don't know what's going on.
Something's up over there. You've had one too many highly caffeinated teas.
I know.
All right. So why don't we give some shout outs and then we'll get into the content on lead follow-up.
2 thumbs up. Let's do this.
Okay. All right. So real quick, I'll handle mine first, and then Greg has some people to shout out. So number one, Viral Marketing. Just want to thank them real quick for writing a check to make podcasts and hangouts like these happen. As you may or may not know, they run Greg's East Bay real estate video blog, and they do a great job doing it. So if that's something that you'd like to emulate, and you want to keep in touch with your database to generate more leads and referrals, check them out at getviral.com. And then Equity. Online buyer lead generation. It's built from the ground up for solo agents or small groups of independent agents at one brokerage. So just get in touch with Greg. He can tell you where it's available. It's a great way to generate a smaller number of higher quality buyer leads that actually you can follow up on and turn into actual clients. And that's what we're going to talk about today is lead follow up. So if you're gonna put in the time and do the lead follow up right, it'd be nice to actually on the front end have really good leads to start out with instead of junk leads, right? Mm-hmm. So Equity is the way to do that with the buyer leads, and especially if you're starting out, my recommendation, and I'm sure Greg would probably agree with this, you can get started on buyer leads, and they're a lot easier, and the threshold for knowledge and experience in the business is a lot less on the buyer side than it is on the listing side. Greg, agree or disagree?
Okay, I completely agree, Matt. I mean, as long as you don't call their mama fat and kick them into shins, you're going to get the deal, basically. I mean,
if they want to buy that house, all they want is someone to open the door and write up the offer.
Yeah, and even if you screw that up, I mean, you have a manager and the controller that can put you back on track if you're completely inept to that level. But the people who listen to this show, Matt, are not that way. So I mean, they are all highly intelligent.
There may be new agents or people that are thinking about getting in the business. I mean, Brian Casella said it the other day. He watched one of your webinars on YouTube before he even got into the business. He wasn't even done with his real estate exam. He was already watching you.
I know he's already a fan of me. What can I say?
I know. It's hard to be you, Greg. So tough to be you.
I'm not going anywhere with that.
Okay. But who do you have to shout out?
I got a lot of good bugs, man. Okay. Excuse me. Anyways, just joining us. I am a little under the weather. I do have a little case of the food poisoning. So if I call Matt profane names or stumble over my words, it's just the food poisoning talking. It's not how I truly feel. Matt's like, I'm not paying attention to you. All right, so we have Kathy. She wrote me today, Matt. She wanted to talk about where to get better scripts and objections. And I told her, I was like, Kathy, well, just go to the Facebook group called, Matt, what's it called? Where we get all of our questions from?
Facebook Lead Gen Scripts and Objections.
There it is, Kathy. Go join it. I just checked in. And Matt, did you know it's over almost 16,500 people on that thing right now? Thing is growing with leaps and bounds. And then I did an emergency call, quote unquote, on Friday afternoon with Jose out of Long Beach. Dude, the guy's super cool. High D, like 99% D, 1% I. Super cool guy, just a driver and a half. So he and I got along really well. He's been getting over a motorcycle accident where he was T-boned by a drunk driver 8 months ago. And so he's got a bunch of homes in I keep seeing San Jose, Long Beach that aren't selling. I gave him some great ideas how to use Facebook Live and some other good things. He hit me up, so they're working out very, very well. So I'm super pumped, Jose, man. Thank you. I'm really glad you put them into action. Maya, Mike, and Josh, dude, you guys are rock stars. I cannot wait to get some time with you guys in the coming week. So, Matt, it's been a great weekend, and those are my shout outs.
Cool. That's awesome. All right. So, quick word on two things. Number one, so we have like we talked about with Brian Casella last week. So he's got the door knocking product. So we're working on something similar for you guys that kind of shows you Greg's approach to door knocking. But most importantly, we have a complete training video course for farming that's already done. You can check out the website. The link is there, McDanielRealEstateSystems.com, and you just go to the farming training video course link that's on the top or on the sidebar. You can get to that. And then if you want to support the show and support the gals that are behind the scenes helping to make the show go smoothly, go over to patreon.com/REU podcast, and you can pledge a little something to support us there just on a month-by-month basis. So
hey,
what
Matt,
do you say with that? Yeah.
So Angel hits me up on YouTube a second ago, and he goes, buyer leads are easier? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Bullshit. Apparently Angel does not like buyer leads. Well, I am sorry, my friend. I am in the opposite corner. I do love them. I think they're easy to work with. And any of you guys out there, yes, they are easier. Even though Angel doesn't believe so, they really are. If you guys want to try that, you can
let's get into this a little bit. All right, so in the big scheme of things, listings is where it's at, right? Because listings take about a quarter of the time. That's true. I was just listening to Jeff Cohn's appearance on a podcast that he recorded last year. I was going over it this morning, and he talked about how when he was getting started in the business and working with buyers, it would take him 3 to 4 evenings of showing homes before they were ready to write an offer, right? Contrast that with taking a listing, and working a listing takes about 4 hours per completed deal. So in the big scheme of things, the money is in the listings. And Greg, you're such a turd. For those of you who can't see this because you're listening, Greg is holding up one of his cats to the camera.
Sooty kitty. Oh, she's just like, fuck off, assholes.
Yeah.
There you go, Fatty.
So anyway.
Matt sees his nemesis. He's like kryptonite to Superman for Matt. He's like, yeah, no, I'm dying.
Yeah, not a cat fan.
We know this. Oh my God, I have so many comments I could go off with that one, but I'm going to shut that.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't. So anyway, in that sense, buyers are harder. They are time-consuming. They can be flaky. We get it. If you have the experience and you've taken a lot of people through the transaction, yes, seller listings are easier to take. They're easier clients to manage as long as you know what you're doing and you have a good, solid marketing plan, you have a communication plan, you have all those things in place. But for the average agent that's new to the business, what's easier to work? Buyers or sellers? Buyers. Exactly.
Buyers. Dude, everybody wants sellers because they think that that's like where it's at. Dude, they are expensive, they're needy, and they're time consuming. I've been doing this for 16 plus years, guys. I've been a buyer's agent majority of the time. If you gave me $1 million buyer or $1 million seller, I'll take $1 million buyer any day of the week. You know what? They're more easygoing. I don't have to pay for shit except for gas. You know what? If I tell them I don't want to do something on a Sunday because I have something going on with my family, and they go look at houses on their own damn selves, I tell them that. Everyone thinks I'm full of it when I actually say that, but I'm really true. I mean, I got a call earlier today from one of my sellers. Sweet woman, great guy, but they want to be updated every so often on things. Buyers don't want that. They get the updates.
Right.
Okay. everyone's like, well, I want to have a listing because I get my sign in the yard. Who gives a shit? Who really gives a shit? I mean, as long as you get paid, do you honestly care if it's a buyer or seller? And Matt, you and I have gone over and we've taught everybody how to take a buyer, turn it into multiple different listings by using specific techniques, have we not?
We have.
And everyone should go back and
yes, I believe that's a bonus. We've referenced it a little bit on the podcast. We haven't really gone deep on it. I think what you're talking about is the bonus video on how to really use Zillow that comes with the farming training product. Like that's where you actually dive deep into how to turn like one buyer lead or something like that, especially in new construction or working with a buyer developer or whatever, into 4 deals.
Well, yeah, we can talk about that, but we also talked about in the past about how Matt, Julie, and your 3 obese babies, I can't talk, but they're still fat as hell. How many you can squeeze them through the front door, and you see if you guys
in my triple stroller.
Go sideways through the front door.
Yeah,
it's like a linebacker going through the front door. But it's all your kids, just one after another.
I have a baby Bjorn, 2 on the back, 1 in front.
Oh my God! Actually, okay. So my brother was in town over the weekend. He's with his family, with his wife, his son Jack, who is a monster of a child, and their 3/4 baked baby girl, who is about ready to join us in a couple of months, and I don't know what the fuck was in the water, man, but it was like anyone who actually knows what gremlins are, and if you sprinkle water on gremlins, they start multiplying. If you know that, dude, fist pump to you. That's awesome, because that was what the kids were like at the house. They were everywhere. It's like you couldn't get away from them. There's a screaming midget somewhere doing something, wanting to crotch punch you or jump on you or run up behind you. I mean, it was bedlam.
Yeah. They're basically tiny. Kids are like tiny drunk humans.
Yeah, they totally
It's
are.
exactly like your drunk buddy at 2 a.m. that refuses to leave the bar and doesn't want to stay in the car when you start driving away. That's
pretty much him. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, totally hard left off of your
buyers versus sellers.
Tangents today, I tell you, man. That's gonna be our thing. But no, yeah, buyers versus sellers, guys. If you can get a buyer in the marketplace that's a feeder for the market area you want to get listings in, get enough buyers that you successfully put into that marketplace, then throw welcome to the neighborhood parties for your buyer into that marketplace, inviting the neighborhoods, them getting to meet you, then have your buyer invite all their friends, which then you get to meet when they come to the party, and you host it, throw in some food, some alcohol, whatever you want, some beer, some water, some wine, whatever, just making it a social event. Then you be the hero, and then you'll start making friends with the neighbors, aka you're not the creepy real estate agent guy or gal. You're just the really cool person who helped their friend or new neighbor get into the area. That's a very, very cheap, easy way to get your foot into the door and make some money without having to spend all the marketing dollars into the neighborhood.
Yeah, I like it. I think that's probably the most solid approach. I mean, if you're going to be a new agent, you want to go after expired listings and FSBOs and stuff like that, which is really the only reason you'd start meeting homeowners in just random areas around town. You really better have your marketing together, and you better have a really solid plan that you can present them for how you're going to market their home, because otherwise, why are you going after them? Yeah. If you can't tell them something different about you that's different than every other agent, then you really have no right to go after them. I mean, what value do you offer?
Yeah, I mean, Matt? If I said, Matt, what qualification do you have to sell my home besides having obese children? That's right. I really don't know. Diabetes is not really a qualification.
No. I'm gonna work the networks of my 3 obese kids, and I'm gonna call all their parents from daycare. That's my network.
Or from dialysis.
Dialysis. That's right. You never know, those dialysis nurses, they need homes too. Oh my God. So my kids are now obese and have diabetes.
Yes. It goes with
my fake obese children. Just want to clarify that for anybody that's listening to this for the first time. All right, so let's. I wanted to point out something that I ran across today. Like I said, I was listening to one of Jeff Cohn's podcasts from last year, and he was talking about lead conversion, which is what kind of gave me the idea for this episode in general. Although I wanted to do this something like this for a while, but it's the reason we're talking about this today specifically. Is he points out that for his agents and the way they've structured it for their team, and this is all managed through Boomtown in their case. They use Boomtown for their CRM, but you can do this with anything, Top Producer, and other real estate CRMs like Follow Up Boss. So in the first 14 days, it's his agent's responsibility to call a lead 10 times and send 7 emails. Now, the 7 emails happen automatically because they've got email drips set up. So the way that breaks down is you make 1 call in the first 5 minutes, 2 calls total on the first day, a text message, voicemail, and then 7 more calls in the next 13 days. So essentially you're calling them every other day. And then it's another voicemail message, and then return with them on Facebook, send them a Facebook message. And then over the long term, so once you get past those 14 days, if you haven't got a hold of them, or if you get a hold of them and you qualify them in the sense that they're not wanting to go out and look at homes right away, then you figure out, okay, are you in the 3 to 6 month category or the 6 to 12 month category? That's all they care about. So depending on what category you fall into, if you're in the 3 to 6 month category, you're calling them twice a month. If they're in the 6 to 12 month category, they're calling them once a month. If they tell you anything longer than a year, I believe Jeff has his agents put them into like an archive, and then they're just on like a general once a month follow-up program. They're not on calls. They're just on like email drips. So that is the exact process that they use to follow up with all of their leads, and they consistently and predictably close about 2.5 to 3% of their internet buyer leads, which is, if you know anything about that, is very good. Possibly anywhere from 2 to 5 times what other real estate teams are doing across the country for the ones that even bother to track this. So it's an incredibly good conversion ratio, and it's just a good process to model. So call them within the first 5 minutes, call them a couple of times the first day, and then call them every other day, and then text them and leave voicemails, hit them up on Facebook, the whole 9 yards, full court press for 2 weeks until you get a hold of them and qualify them.
So basically harass them until they put a restraining order against you. I like it. It's very effective. Like, as you know, Matt, I use that for my dating strategies.
I do not know. We have not talked about strategy. I don't think we'll be doing an episode on Greg's dating strategies.
That's very unhealthy for everybody. I
think it would be.
No, but I know. In all seriousness, though, I mean, what he's doing there is incredibly wise. I mean, the first call within 5 minutes, and then the first 2 calls within the first day, and then steadily, it's kind of like the military. You're going after them land and air. Essentially, I mean, it's in writing, and it's also in voicemail or an actual call, or maybe if you even have the cell, maybe even shooting them a text. You got to be careful in the text because people are very, 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 very protective about their cell phones. Doing my Mojo calls, like everyone knows that I do a shit ton of. Sometimes I'll get people's cell phone numbers. I mean, it's just it happens, right? And they'll be like, "How'd you get my cell phone?" I'm like, "I was dialing a home line and I got you. I'm sorry." And so, I mean, unless you've had some sort of contact with them, but prior to, so if I met Matt and Julie and his 3 obese babies, I mean, I would not immediately call or text him, go, "Hey, Matt, what's up, player? Hey, man, I'm the creepy agent that you just didn't know you got in touch with. Let's talk." And it's not going to work out that well.
Just to clarify, when you're talking about reaching people on Mojo, you're doing a lot of circle prospecting. You're reaching out to them for the first time, so of course they're surprised. These are not people that just came in off of your website where they voluntarily put in their phone number as their, what I'm saying, and registered their address for a home value, or these are not people that registered on your site to look at homes. If you do that, if you sign up on a website, you put in your name, your email, and your phone number, it's a reasonable expectation that you're going to get some sort of follow-up from them, and so expectations are different.
I'm saying that that's totally acceptable, Matt. I'm just saying be wary of texting them prior to making any type of a relationship with them. I mean, even if I put my cell phone in and you shot me a text back, I honestly don't know how I would feel about that unless I talked to you first. That's all I'm saying. But I totally agree with you. They are looking for someone to reach out and touch them.
Well, I would say this, and maybe this is the generational gap in the massive 3 years difference between our ages. If I get a phone call on my cell phone, if I do not recognize the number, number one, I don't pick it up.
Do you know what a rotary phone is, Matt?
I do. My grandparents had one.
What about a phone booth? Do
I
you
don't know
know
that I've ever.
those?
Yes, I haven't made calls from an actual phone booth. I've made calls from phone booth like at an airport or something
Get the
like
fuck,
that. Yeah, but I don't know about the
get the
side of a
fuck out of
road.
here.
You know,
Seriously?
Glendale,
You,
Arizona, or something like that.
you've never like gone in and closed the door and like put the quarters in and put the stack of quarters on top waiting to do that call?
No, no, no.
Wow, you are young.
Yeah, I wasn't. I'm gonna leave that one alone. Okay. So anyway, if I get a call on my cell phone, number one, if it's a number that I don't recognize, how often do you pick it up?
All the time.
Virtually never.
I do it all the time.
Serious? Well, yeah, you may. I do not.
Because
So
Matt, we do McDaniel challenge. Of course I have to.
well, of course,
Every
yeah. See,
but I
you,
love
but you're
McDaniel.
different. You are picking up numbers because you're assuming it's business for you or it's agents or whatever.
Could be a hot chick.
Most people are not. So I would actually prefer if someone's going to call me and they're trying to get a hold of me, please do not leave a voicemail. I will not check it for 2 weeks. I just sat down and went through my voicemails, and it took me a half hour to go through all of them.
That's actually
It's
very
horrible.
true, guys. I mean, if I leave,
So
if
I would
leave
rather
Matt
get a
message,
text.
he'll never respond to me.
Oh
I have
God,
to
no.
text.
No, I erased 2 of them from you the other day, and they're from like December. I'm like, when did Greg leave these?
delete.
Yeah, so I would actually rather you, and I feel like a lot of consumers our age are getting like this. If they don't recognize your number one, don't leave a voicemail because they might not check it. Not that you don't leave a voicemail, but just don't count on that and don't cop out and take the easy way out and just say, oh, well, I left him a voicemail. That's all I can do. No. So if you text me and explain who you are, I'm actually much more likely to, if I want to hear from you, I will program you in my phone, and that way the next time you call, it actually registers your name, and then I will be much more likely to pick up. And I think that's the way that things are going, is that people would rather get a text that explains what the hell is this call that I'm getting. So something to keep in mind. Food for thought, Greg. So this should be called I think we're just going to call this the Greg is Wrong Show. It's just nothing but you and I disagreeing on stuff. It's awesome.
That's because you're always wrong and I'm right.
Uh-huh.
But the fact of the matter is, Bandito, don't be yourself. My cat's gonna epically fail here in a second. He has a unique knack of slamming into everything he tries to jump over.
Oh, great.
We'll see him here in a second. He's right over here. He's a big old black beast. He'll join us. Put his butt right in the camera.
So if we see the HD camera on the floor, we know what's happened. The cat trying to jump over your monitor.
Exactly.
Right.
We will have known that the black tiger or black kitten has struck again.
That's right. Failed. So you want to go on about how I'm wrong about text messaging, or should we get into some scripts on lead follow-up?
Oh, I could go forever on how you're wrong about text messaging, but for the sake of our viewers, let's move on, my friend.
Okay. All right. So let's start with buyers, since we're on that subject. So let's say someone does come through your lead capture site. They registered their name and their email and their valid phone number, and you're calling them because they registered to look at homes on your site. So obviously you're trying to get to them within 5 minutes and give them a quick call. So how would that call go for you, Greg?
All right, guys, I want you to meet my other furry bastard. This is Bandito. He is he's a nice cat, likes long walks on the beach. Matt enjoys hanging out with him.
What?
Yeah, he's a water cat.
Uh-huh.
This cat's like, fuck off. All right, here you go, buddy. How would I handle what? Sorry, I got distracted by
buyer lead follow-up off of your website. You're making the call within 5 minutes. What are you saying?
Guys, how many more buttons can I push on Matt before he explodes today? Guys, follow up immediately. That's what I really like about the equity program, is that you get an email and you get a text instantly. As soon as they log in, you instantly know what they're doing. So you can make the cognitive decision of, like, either I am going to get paid or I'm going to let money slip through my fingers. Guys, 48% of all leads are never, ever followed up with one time. And that's the ironic part, Matt, is that so many real estate agents, and I have done this myself, so I am preaching to the crowd, the fact that, like, oh my God, I have no leads. And then as soon as Matt and Julie and these 3 obese children keep texting me incessantly, I'm like, what the hell is wrong with these people? Why are my clients so neurotic? Why do they always need to be talked to? What's going on? It's that difference, guys. You need to make a decision how much you want to get paid. Do you want to really have your client's best interest at hand? Because if you do, you will pick up the phone. You will get back to them immediately, and you will service them into the way that they need to be serviced so that they can buy or sell a home in the shortest amount of time. And to do that is to have a communication. Number one thing that agents hate about us, buyers hate about us agents, is a lack of communication. Second off, figure out how they want to be communicated with. Is it text, email, in-person phone calls? What is it that they want to be? How is it they want to be talked to? This is a rough day, but yes, I mean you need to identify how and then execute on it all the time. That is how you'll get referrals. You'll be top of mind. They'll talk about you. They'll be quote word of mouth. You'll get references online. The Zillow, Trulia, Yelp, whatever else. So yeah, Matt. I mean, getting back with them sooner or at all would be best. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you what is it? If you get back with someone within 5 minutes, you're 23 times more likely to work with them. I mean, come on, guys. If this thing buzzes, you pick it up. It's like what we've always been taught to do. Just do it with a client. It's not like, oh, that's a lead. Oh, delete or
delete.
I don't like that one.
That's a lead. Delete.
Okay,
so anyway, let's get back to the scripting. So what do you say? What's the call sound like?
Hello, Matt?
Yeah, this is he.
I'm like, this is your cue, buddy.
Okay.
Hi, Matt.
Yep, this is he.
Oh, hey, Matt. This is Greg McDaniel. I'm with the McDaniel Callahan team. I just got notified that you came to one of our sites online. You were interested in looking at maybe a couple of homes here in the area. I noticed that you were looking in the last few minutes at 2236 Maple and 2144 Joseph Drive. And want to see if I can answer any questions for you about those homes.
Well, I really was just looking to see, kind of what's available in that area. We're thinking about that neighborhood and seeing if the price point kind of works for us. So I kind of got the information that I was looking for on the website.
Oh, fantastic! Are you guys? Where are you guys moving from?
Pleasantville.
Pleasantville. That's a fantastic area. Actually, my wife's sister. Her second cousin was actually from there. I've been there a few times, and I actually really enjoy it. I mean, if you guys ever go to that restaurant bar called Frank's, it's kind of like right downtown. It's like where everybody goes.
Yeah, I think I've been there once.
Oh yeah, man, I love that place. Anyways, what's bringing you guys up from Pleasantville, by the way?
Just we want a more family atmosphere, and then the freedom to buy something a little bit bigger and stretch out. We've got 3 young children. They're not small.
Morbidly obese, maybe. There's a good treatment center here in town.
No, we're just looking to spread out. We need an extra bedroom. I'd like to start working from home a little bit more, so we need possibly a home office. And so we really just want to get out of the like the 2-bedroom place that we have now and get into a place that's bigger but still as affordable.
Got it. Yeah. The lumbering midgets are an issue for a 2-bedroom. I can see how that could be a problem. But yeah, this is a phenomenal neighborhood, Matt. You know what? Who are you working with right now that's helping you guys see the homes here in the area?
Nobody. We just started looking, so we don't have anybody.
You know what? If you wouldn't mind, and of course, if you'd like to or not, I'd love to meet with you. I have access to a secret MLS that not every agent knows about or can access into, that has homes that are not on the market, that might be able to be something that might be helpful for you. I'm not sure if would that be helpful?
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, great, perfect. Why don't we do this? Why don't you and Julie and your 3 ginormous children come on down to the house? Come on down to the office. We'll open up both of the doors so they can walk through without having to turn sideways. And we'll get them a couple of double doubles, and the rest of us will sit down in the conference room. We'll leave them in the waiting area where they're comfortable, and we'll talk about the prices and the homes. How's that?
Sounds good. All right, then, and let's end scene right there. So, well, let's quickly break that down and strip out all the insults to the sizes of my fake children, and look at the now. So first of all, you're going through, and obviously the scripting is very casual. Hey, it's Greg McDaniel with the McDaniel Callahan team. Are you typically starting that off where, hey, I've seen that you came through one of our sites and you actually name off the homes that they're looking at?
Well, I name off the site. I'm very
Okay.
precise on that. So let's say it's equity, right? So hey Matt, I saw that you were on equity today. I just wanted to quickly follow up with you. That's how I like to be treated, and especially when I'm interested in buying something. So I just wanted to see if there's anything that I might be able to help you with, answer any questions you may have, give you any market knowledge that you may desire, help you out in any kind of way. So I'm going at it as a very much a service-based centric phone call. It's
Right.
not yeah
It's a courtesy call, essentially.
yeah, exactly. And
Okay.
if they tell me to go F off, okay, well, thank you very much, have a nice day. But hey, don't do that. You know what? But if they are actually interested in something and they actually need help, I'm there to provide it for them. Like I talked to you about Pleasantville. Where did you come up with that name?
I don't know. I was going for Pleasanton. That's what I was
Okay.
looking. Yeah.
Pleasantville. All right.
Yeah.
But I mean, what I did is, if you're knowledgeable about the marketplace that you're serving, then you'll be able to, like I pulled Frank's out of my ass. I just place something about that area that you can make a reference point back to, create a common bond. Therefore, the trust is built on a small level. Therefore, you can move forward. Like anytime, any of you that have traveled abroad, so you can be in Berlin, Germany, and you run across another American. You're like, you're from America? I'm from America. Holy shit, that's amazing. Right? All of a sudden, bond. If you're in New York and you meet someone from San Francisco, where I'm from, like, oh my God, I like this person. They're from San Francisco.
Right.
It's the same thing. It's just basically building that small little bit amount of trust and then growing it from there.
Okay. All right. So talk to me about the wrap up and the transition to meeting me for the first time. So would you normally try to get me into the office first to sit down and look at stuff, or would you offer to show me a home?
I have so many things. No, I'm just not going to go there today. I would actually, my personal thing, I would not try to get you in the office. Ladies who are listening to this, please, please, if it's a male or if you do not feel comfortable, please get them into the office or bring someone with you if you're going to go show them outside the office without meeting them first. Look, safety is priority number one. Without a doubt, being 6'5", 225, fight trained, I'm not really threatened that much.
Yeah.
I mean, unless someone's coming after me with an axe or a handgun, I'm okay. But I mean, I generally, I like to get the ball going, get him out into the car, get him out to the house. Let's look at something. Let's hit the ground running. Also, I don't go out there empty-handed. Like if you Matt and Julie and his 3 kiddos wanted to go see a 2-bedroom condo where obviously his kids couldn't fit into, I would bring him a couple of 4-bedroom houses or something, because I heard that he has 3 kids. I'm like, oh, okay, he's got 3 kids. Why is he looking at 2-bedroom condos? Okay, let's look at some other stuff. I bring other opportunities in writing, like tangible, like
the actual MLS sheets.
the sheets.
Okay.
So because what I do is I give it to you, and I give it to every one of my buyers in the order that we're going to go see them in, so you can take notes. And also, so let's say Matt, you like the first one, Julie hates the second one. Well, we obviously know Julie wears the pants in the relationship. Okay.
Wow, that is a low blow against me and my fake wife. How dare you, Greg?
How dare Greg?
Yeah. So Julie wears the fictional pants.
Fictional pants with the fictional kids and the fictional marriage and the fictional reality, yes. But let's say Julie really hated the second house.
Right.
Well, I would have her take that piece of paper with that MLS sheet and have her crumple it up and throw it in the back seat of the car we're riding in. Because what it does psychologically, it eliminates it from her mind, no joke, so that she will not keep referencing back to it. Because at the end of the tour, Matt will have his house that he has. Then we'll have the other couple homes, and they'll have them in the sheets, and then they can go look at them. Now she won't go back to number 2 and be like, but I really like the kitchen. I really like the kitchen. The kids can eat so much in this kitchen. This is perfect for them. We can have 3 refrigerators, one for each of them. And
three fridges, one for each of my obese 3 kids. Okay. All right. So you actually have them crumple up the listing sheet and toss it in the back seat. That's interesting.
Yeah. No, it's actually. I'm not kidding about that. I mean, I do pick fun of your fake, fake kids, fake wife, and fake everything else. But I mean, that is something I would legitimately do. And don't you dare yawn! Don't you dare yawn! How dare you! Oh my God!
Starbucks is wearing off at the wrong time, Greg.
Dude,
I'll wrap this up.
two of these bad boys. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
All right.
Cheap shit. It will rock your world.
Uh-huh.
But it really does help out a lot.
Okay.
And it helps them eliminate it. It helps you not have to go back and freaking forth. Like, I like this, I like that. I don't like this, I like that. It's like, shut the fuck up and just choose one. It's like, no, see, you threw it away. It's done.
Doing the house hunter thing. Let's immediately eliminate one right off the bat.
They stole that from me. Okay. And we're in litigation.
All right, good. I hope you win. I hope you get unspecified monetary damages for that. All right, so let's finish this up with, there was a question that caught my eye on the Facebook group, and it's from Tommy Reed, and he asked, does anyone have a good welcome email they'd like to share when someone signs up on their website? I'm not happy with the generic one from my office, and I'm having trouble writing one myself. So, Greg, do you have any idea what your automated kind of the welcome email is? For when people register on your site?
Yeah, we don't have one.
You don't have one?
We don't. I mean, when someone registers on the site, we do everything we can to get in touch with them ourselves as fast as humanly possible.
Okay.
Do some people slip through the cracks? Yeah, of course. But I mean, if you guys do have an automated email system, make it casual, make it relaxed, make it easygoing. Don't try to sound formal, because that shit sucks. I mean, it really does. I mean, you can smell bullshit.
The best email trips are meant to look authentic, and they look like they're just one-off emails sent from Gmail.
Well, yeah, and that's how I do my cold calls, Matt. And as you and I have gone over several times, when I do my cold calls, I have put in a stammers and all over the place, because I mean, so you play the silly real estate agent for a few seconds, but you don't sound like, hi, this is Matt Johnson. I am the local expert real estate agent extraordinaire. Hey, I got a deal for you today. People, come on down. I got a 1-bedroom condo for $999. I got for you today only. I'll lower $10,000. No, fuck that, dude. I mean, that sounds horrible.
That was semi-impressive for you being under the weather today.
I know. I just thought of you and how you'd react, and I just went with it.
Just wanted to sound like you're on the radio. So guys, if you want a really good like a complete email follow-up sequence, there's an 8x8, which means it's 8 contacts in 8 weeks. So it's a really good email sequence to put somebody on when they are being added to your database. So whether it's because you've talked to them and they're a buyer that you want to keep on following up with, or just someone that you've come across in real life, to perish the thought, someone you talk to in actual real life, and then you want to add them to your database.
Real people,
if you go to getviral.com, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you click on the real estate email follow-up sequences, there is the new contact welcome 8x8 follow-up sequence. Designed exclusively for real estate professionals. It's just free. You can literally copy the whole thing. And this is something that you could dump into like a constant contact for very little money. I think constant contact starts at either $5 or $10 a month, and you can dump that autoresponder basically into there, and anyone that you add to that list will automatically get those 8 emails in 8 weeks. So it's a great way to get somebody jump started, and it just has some really good phrasing. So if you're looking for a quick and easy way to grab some ideas for email follow-ups or even follow-up scripts in general, that's a great place to go. Even if you don't use them as like automated email drips, it's just great because the copy is really good. So check that out. Yeah, well, so that's my contribution to that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Viral, I mean, again, it's great content, very well written by Frank and the team over there. If you want something that's automatic, guys, is an affordable, immediately hit out, try Contactually. They have all kinds of pre-written email templates for you. Also, I believe the last time I talked to them, they had it set up so that if like Matt, if you and I were to become friends on LinkedIn, and I said, hey, so friend, you accepted, then immediately, bam, Contactually would send out an email, pre-written to you. And if you guys do those, don't be salesy. Be people. Go have fun. Hey Matt, what's going on? Try, if you can pull it off, have some humor. But if you suck at comedy, don't do that.
Yeah, comedy is probably the hardest thing to convey through the written word and through text.
So Matt, thanks for becoming friends with me on LinkedIn. So guess what? Why did the chicken cross the road?
Yeah, don't do that.
No, don't do that. No. To get to the other side.
Okay. All right, so I just wanted to quickly point out that there's a couple of really good follow-up scripts, both for sellers and buyers. We didn't get much to the seller side, but if you go to the website, McDanielRealEstateSystems.com, click on that link that says scripts. It's on the top, and it's on the sidebar as well. So click on that. It's absolutely free. We just got done putting it together, and we're kind of launching it and letting everybody know about it. So it's got not only those 2 scripts for follow-up for buyers and sellers, it's also got some other really good script. I think there's like 14 or 15 in total. Each one has a link to the original video that me and Greg shot, where Greg actually goes through the script, tells you what the scenario is, and then runs through it. So that way you don't have to like skim through this whole video to find the script. It actually takes you right to a specific video that we shot that shows you the script and shows it to you in action. So go download that. Super easy. It's all free. So check that out at the website. But that's all we've got. That's lead follow-up.
And decently done. I mean, guys, we obviously, Matt and I are always going to keep bringing you guys a lot more stuff. I mean, I apologize for being a little under the weather today, and I will. A little loopy.
You were a little loopy today,
dude. You try not sleeping and see how well you do, because your stomach is doing hula hoops around your ankles.
Okay, that's a very disturbing and vivid visual.
Just walking along, tripping over your guts.
Yeah.
But guys, hey, look, you know what? Take the McDaniel challenge. Quit being a wuss about it, and actually get off your fucking ass and do it. Pick up the phone. This one right here. This thing, like we've talked about, sequentially put in. This thing will ring to me, and you can speak to me and get it booked up. I talked to 2 people today. We're getting them booked up, guys. Cool. McDaniel Challenge, 925-915-1978, 925-915-1978. Talk to me. Let's get you guys booked. I'm into April now, guys. Before soon, soon's going to be like, June, and there's going to be people booking time. So get it done. Get a hold of me. Let's talk about equity. Let's talk about your business. Let's get you guys rocking and rolling. I am here. I love you guys. I really, really, really want to see you guys succeed. If you want to go over some scripts that might work for you, let's do that. Like Jose experienced out of Long Beach on Friday. I found time on Friday afternoon between appointments to give him a ring. He and I talked for 20 minutes when I was in traffic, and we hammered this thing out. I am not sitting here in an ivory tower going, oh, you can only get a hold of me on this way or this time. No. I'm here to help you guys. I want to help you guys. I want to see you succeed. All you have to do is get out of your way. Please call me. That's all it takes, and I will get back to you. So I love you guys, and I want to see you succeed.
That's right. And if anyone is listening or watching from the beautiful country of Canada, me and Jeff Cohn and a couple of his guys from Elite Real Estate Systems are going to be up there speaking at an event in Ottawa at the end of the month. So if that's something that you're interested in attending, whether you're coming from, I don't know, Montreal or any of the surrounding areas or provinces up there, just shoot me an email, matt@pursuingresults.com. I can give you all the details and shoot you over the link to the event page. So if that's something you'd like to attend, you can actually see us live. You are not allowed to come. I don't know, Greg. Are you allowed outside the country?
Not in Canada. They banned me from that.
Okay, man.
Oh yeah, don't you know?
That's right. You tore up one too many hotel rooms in Canada.
Yeah.
All right. How about we not mock our Canadian viewers?
I'm not mocking. I'm hooked on one of their freaking television shows right now. All I can watch is all about Canada right now. I'm not telling you the name on the air because you're going to mock me mercilessly. So that's not happening.
Oh, I believe it. Yes. I believe that. I'll find out what it is after the fact, and then I will mock you mercilessly. All right, guys. So with that, we've got a great guest coming up, a guy named Michael LaFido. We're going to be talking to him on Friday at 11, and then obviously we are back here on Wednesday at 3, as we are every Wednesday at 3 o'clock Pacific. So join us live backstage here on Google Hangouts. You can watch us record the show. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube so you get our notifications when we're going live and when the new videos come out. And then on iTunes and Stitcher, you can hit the audio version. Until then, we're going to let Greg get back to playing with his cats, as he's been doing the entire episode. Clearly, he needs to focus on them. They need some attention.
Yes, Matt. Banditos, who wants to say goodbye to the world? And he says goodbye in his own cat way.
All right.
That's cat for bye.
Cool. All right. Thanks, guys. We will see you next time.
Bye, guys.